All right. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and start. It's already recording now. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna walk you through on creating an account in AWS, Amazon Web Services. That's what AWS stands for. So we're gonna go to the console, AWS console. We're gonna create an account, go through the process to do that. So the last time I had some kind of a class arrangement with some group, we had started the same process. So that account is what I just closed out, and now we're gonna go ahead and get a new one. Okay, guys. So what we're gonna do is, I think this is, oh, this is still the certification one. Okay. All right. Let's just go to the console, AWS console. This is in console. I hope everybody can see this, right? Right?
Yes, I
Okay.
can see it clear.
Okay. So we closed that account out. So as you can see, we can't get into it. So we just go to Google. We're gonna create an email account first. Uh, create Google account. I told him to do something else and he's doing something else. Everybody knows how to create Google account, I guess. Oh shoot, it's this one. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna create an account real quick. Uh, Security checkup. Why is it showing me security checkup? Create your Google account. All right. Let's call it Cloud Movement, guys. This Cloud, we say is movement is the last name, and then we go. You guys like this name? I don't think that
Yeah, that
name
sounds
is.
pretty cool.
I don't think that name is available. We're gonna use the same name as the password, but we're gonna change it. We're gonna put some number and stuff. And I recommend that you guys do some complex password. Don't do this. I'm doing this so that everybody can remember it because we are gonna be using it from time to time. I wanna remember it anyway. Somebody have to go on mute, please. Let's see what we put there. I just want to. I'm completely transparent with this because I have too many things to remember. So I want you guys to be witnesses to it. Okay, I see the error there. Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. If you could go on mute, that would not be happening. Okay, so let's do 12 because you didn't take that one. So we got that. I'm gonna use my company phone number for this, so we can get a text message 763163114. Recovery email should be any email that you have already, and I'll use one like this one so that if I forget the password, I recover it. Date of birth will be 1914 because collectively we are older than 50 years. Isn't that funny? Collectively we are older than that, so we do 1914.
Ooh.
We are very old collectively. Come on now. You know that's true. Yeah, yeah. One female,
Thanks.
for now it's for the female, so we just have to show that respect. All right, we're gonna verify the phone number. That means it's gonna send me OTP one-time pad on my phone, and I'm just gonna y'all pay attention, and I'm just gonna put it on here. For some reason, my phone is acting up, so I'll be patient with it. So y'all pay attention, please. First, we created the Gmail account, which is the email we're gonna use to set up the account on Amazon. And once we finish creating the Gmail account, we write it down. We note it down. Like I'm gonna know everything down here. There's an app I'll introduce you guys to. That app will help you to keep sensitive information really secure. But right now, we're just gonna do it this way so that we can at least get the thing done. And then later on, we're gonna address other stuff. Okay. Like here, I'm gonna note everything in here. Okay. So we know we have the cloud movement. That's the one we set up. Cloud movement. 1, 2, right, guys? So step by step. Somebody should be writing the steps down. That's how we learn here. We do stuff step by step, step by step. Everybody should write it down, as a matter of fact. So if someone missed something, another one remembers it. So that's that. So now my phone is back up. So I will just go and put the thing from Gmail. Okay. So let's see what they got for me. All right, they sent me the code that I need. It's just 6-digit code, which in this case is 271679. That's it. So once I verify, and if all goes well, I should be okay. So you say that I will receive all of that, make Google services include ads or whatever. Now, what we are learning now is really a profession, it's a field. The same thing we're learning for Amazon, Google has it too. But we are focusing on Amazon for now. In the future, we'll do more stuff. But the bottom line is that you guys get a job and smiling at me after you guys get that job. And then we move forward. So now, as you can see, we have an account. This is our account right here. We can go to our Gmail, which is not going to have any email. We can go to meeting. We can do all that content. But I have to warn you guys, there's nothing Amazon does that is very secretive, because their job is to make money from your information, and that's a fact. Now that we have Amazon account, we're going to roll over to the next best thing, which in this case is going to be, we'll go back to Google again. I'm doing everything from scratch. So we go to Amazon Console, right. We go to Amazon Console. I think there's a problem in the roll call. Okay, everybody have put oh, awesome. Everybody put their name. You guys are awesome. Wow. You guys are on point. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So moving back, I'm just gonna do AWS console, okay? Because that's where I want to get. Or better yet, I can say login. But we're gonna do all that right now, okay? I don't want to do log back in because I want to set you guys up with an account. So we're gonna go to sign into the console. It says authentication failed because your account has been suspended. That's a different story. Don't worry about it. So let's go back to this one to try to log in again. Or better yet, let me just say create an account, because if you have an old account that they suspended on you, stuff like that could possibly happen, guys. AWS create new account on AWS. Okay, so you see sign up for free AWS account, that's what it says. So now we go to create account. Remember, we already got the Gmail account, guys. We created a brand new Gmail account to get this done. Okay, now It's saying thank you for creating Amazon. We are activating your. When did I create one? When are you activating it? Does that make sense to you guys?
No. How did they?
That
Yeah.
don't make sense. I haven't even created nothing.
No, that's
I didn't create nothing. It's just saying, oh my goodness. Ooh. I think I'm noticing something strange. Okay, let's try I use IE. Maybe I have something in my cache that's triggering something.
right.
Maybe I have unfinished business with them. Something is going on. I hope it doesn't affect this class because you guys need to learn this. Yeah, there has to be some kind of unfinished business. Uh, there has to be. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out. Let's use the IE and see how that one goes. Yeah, let's use IE. Yeah, like right here. Let's see how that one goes. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. I didn't even create anything and it's telling me that I've already created something. That tripped me out. Okay, let's see here. Okay. So we go back to creating an account. All right, that makes sense. Now, but still, that's not creating an account. Oh, somebody has to go to sleep. Okay, we send you the video. Okay. All right. You guys see that? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So this is it. Now we're somebody should note down the steps. So now we're doing we're in business actually, guys. Okay. Usually when you are creating an AWS account, it's always good if you wanna if you're a company to make sure that the email address is has something to do with what you are trying to create. It's always good to make sure, and especially when you are like, for instance, we are doing a cloud movement. This is our email, right? Cloud movement, right? This is our email. Okay, we put our email down, but it's recommended that when you are creating your email, it should be something like, because each email is attached to a console in AWS, so you want to make it r- closely related to the project. Like our project is cloud movement, right? We could have done cloud movement dot maybe production develop dev test, something like that. So we are basically saying that this is not for production. This is for, it's cloud movement 1 2, but dev test. Okay. So next time we want to create any of this, we should use this paradigm, because in the environment you are going to, everything is not the same. They are all different. You have production account, you have test account, and all of that. So usually it's dev test and production. Okay. Like we would have had something like that. Make sense, guys? This or this would have been what would have used for our email, so that it makes sense. It's connected to, maybe we're trying to stand a server for cloud movement to do specific function, and it's a development server or testing server or a production server in that case. So which in this case we want a production, we could, it could be a production server or a development server, but it's better to create an email that have that, that's related to this state, and then the whether it's a production or development server, it has to relate to the environment of the server that you're standing up, basically. Now we're gonna use the same password that we used before. It doesn't matter here, but as long as it obeys the password complexity standard, you should be okay. So I don't know if you guys remember the password we used before. There's a difference between that one and this one. Take a note if you can see any difference. Okay, if you can't, that's fine. I don't really think there's a difference. Did anybody notice? I don't think it's a
The
difference.
chain, no, I don't remember. The chain from the previous password?
That password from the past is the same as this one.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same as this one. So now, what I want for the account name will be cloud movement. Okay, and we can make sure when you have the account name, like the account name, it has something to do with the company and what the product is for. Like in this case, is let's say it's locked on. Then you put cloud movement. You see, lockdown cloud movement. That makes sense, right? So I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Or do I really have to or not? Maybe I should. Okay. Okay, move forward. Okay. So usually we go personal, okay? All right, guys? And I'm gonna use a phone number, and I'm gonna be careful with this phone number here so that they don't shut us down. I don't know. Maybe the phone number is being used a lot of stuff already. Okay, United States. We can use the address, any address you like, but make sure it's a genuine address, guys. Okay. Colombia. Uh, let's do South Carolina. Let's do 29201. That's fine. I will check this box and we create the account. You see what I was telling you guys?
Okay, that's for your credit card
Yup.
information.
They are so
Okay.
smart. They are so smart.
Yeah.
They make money. They make money.
Mhm.
So now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put it. I'm covering you guys now. It's me that's been on the line for you guys, but it's okay. All I ask is you guys learn the whole trick. Six
Well, they
nine.
couldn't charge the card. They just need the card for verification, or
They need the card to verify who you are, and sometimes when
right,
you go above the free tier, they need their
right.
money. They take it from the card.
Wait a minute, free,
they give you
free.
they give you free tier to get you in, but when you get in here, it's gonna be like a kid in a candy store, right? And you're gonna be learning a lot of stuff, learning a lot of stuff. Little did you know that some of the stuff that you're learning, they cost money. By the
Okay.
time you recognize, you probably spend a lot of money, right? I'm gonna be smart on them. I'm gonna make them call me to verify. Okay, guys?
Okay, that makes sense.
So that way they will get a voice. They really don't know who the voice is. I hope they know. Who will expect them to know? Right, right. Okay, that's that. CPCW, contact me. So they're gonna call me now in a bit. Call in progress. They're gonna call me. These people here, they're very smart. So they're gonna call me, unless my phone number is wrong. There you go. They just called. Hello. So they want me to put that pin number that's displayed on my screen. How can I? Okay, 0313. Awesome. All right. Hmm. They weren't able to verify the pin that I entered. I don't know why, but let's try again. I don't know why. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to start all over with this. Yeah. Do the voicemail again. 763-568-4836. Now let's try this. Everybody there?
Yes. Are we gonna have to go through all these steps as well?
Awesome, awesome. So let's do it again. It's okay. Maybe I made a mistake. I don't know. Let them call me again and I will make it happen. So all I had to do, enter the 9574. Maybe I forgot to push pound, ampersand to show that I entered it. That's what I'm thinking that happened. But let's see. So that's them again. They're called. So I put it on speakerphone this time. 9574. Guys, we did it. Now, now don't forget, if you choose the developer plan, you're gonna pay $29 every month. If you choose the business plan, you pay $100 every month. There's also another plan they have. This comes in the exams. It's not only three plans that they have. That's a third one. What did it say here? What did it say here?
Need enterprise level support?
That means they have enterprise level as well. They have that as a plan too. But it's not here. It will show up in the exam. They have basic plan, developer plan, business plan, and enterprise plan. Always remember that. So we're gonna choose the free one. Remember, we started off with personal. Okay, we're gonna choose the free one. We started off with personal. So now we're gonna log into to the console. So we've done so well. We got to this point. We can actually log into the console. Sometimes it takes over 24 hours to allow you access to the console, but we're gonna hope that this is gonna work once and for all with us, and we're just gonna be just fine. So for the first time, you will log in as root. After that, you set up an IAM for everybody, and then I think it's 1-2, right, guys?
Yes, it's one
Okay,
too.
just making sure you guys are
Yeah.
with me. It's
Yep.
1-2.
Cloud 12. Yep.
Yeah.
Cloud.
So that's the root email. Next time we'll be using IAM to log in. There's an error. AWS can't sign information does not exist. Okay.
I think it was capital. I think it was capital C. And you have an L in there. I'm sorry. C is cloud.
Oh yeah,
C
yeah, I
L
messed
O
it up.
U.
The case doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The case
I
doesn't
think
matter.
it may not. Yeah, it
The
shouldn't.
case doesn't matter.
Right.
It's in Windows that the case matters. Okay.
Okay.
So now the case matters because it's a password. All right. And let's see if we have the right password. So it seems like we have the right one. It looks good. And then we sign
Mhm.
in. So you guys need to pay attention here. This is the last time we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna follow. We're gonna just follow and go all the way until we take you through the foundations, and after that we come back here and start doing the use cases and getting into details aspect of everything on AWS. So moving forward here, as you guys can see, AWS Management Console. We are in there right now, but there's lots of services. Let's take a look. Let's take a ride and look at some of the services that they have. Let me click on, yeah, it's easier to look at it this way. And then, so these are all some of the services. Let me blow it up so everybody can see it. All right, so these are all the services. You have compute, you have blockchain, you have analytics, you have end user computing, you have satellite. These are ground stations. They monitor what's on the ground. This technology is way up there, man. But you guys need to be a part of this. This is an opportunity. You have quantum technologies. They have Amazon bracket. They have Internet of Things. They have storage. S3 is a very popular storage used by almost everybody. Most of the things that you do, like Uber stuff, they save their pictures on S3. S3 Glacier is an archive where, over a period of time, they move some of the stuff from one server to another, where it's not continuously getting access to anything, just being there as archive or references. Okay, then they have management governance. This is how you manage everything you have in AWS. This is very interesting aspect of AWS. People get paid a lot of money just taking care of this branch. Then you have the databases, our relational database systems, DynamoDB, Elasticache, Neptune, and Redshift, and all of that. You have container technology here, Kubernetes to be precise, EKS. There's so much stuff. But today, we're going to be concentrating on compute right here. And we're going to deal with EC2 to be precise. That's what I'm going to do with you guys with the EC2. And then that's that. I'm going to make sure you guys know how to set up an Elastic Compute Cloud. I'm going to make sure you guys know how to um, check it out for security best practices. Make sure that all the areas that is necessary and important are checked off so that you know for sure, okay, I set it up and I make sure that all the security best practices are laid out and I observed all of them. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's get going. So we click on EC2. It's going to stand up. Your service sign up is almost complete. Like I told you guys, it takes a little while. But while that is happening, maybe we should go back to the hardware and talk about hardware a little bit. Okay. By the time we come back up, they'll probably have us ready to go. So we're gonna go back to here, and we're gonna go back to car movement, and we're gonna go back to. Seems like I already have it open. Okay, but I will take it from my text, my old text, and I will be back online for you guys to see as we go through it. Okay, I'm gonna go through the text that I have here. I've taught this in the past a long time ago. Somebody saying something? Nobody saying anything? Okay, let's move forward. All right. So we're gonna go through the hardware as we wait for that one to come back up. Over here we have information move. Let me start from the very beginning. Over here we talked about the reason why a lot of people are not being able to get the job after they take the certification exams and etc. etc. We found out that the information technology foundation is what they are lacking. So what we did was we started with hardware. Okay, so we started with hardware, and we would like to talk about the computer primary jobs because a lot of people don't even know the computer primary jobs, and that's why I sent. I don't know if you guys noticed. I sent a URL earlier on. I think the URL is here. I don't know if anybody took a look. It will pretty much teach you how computer works, etc., etc. Okay, guys. However, I'll go through it again. I don't know how many watched the URL. It's just a bunch of people with Bill Gates telling you how computer works. So the computer's primary job Can anybody tell me what the computer's primary job is? If you know, tell us.
I think it's to process information.
Absolutely. Yep. The computer primary job is to process information. That's basically what it does. All computer from the big ones, the mainframe that they had back in the days, and to today's the desktops and all of that, they perform general operations on information. So the change we had over time is they got a little faster over time, and then how it handled the information and how much it moved around. You see, back then they might have like floppy disk and all of that, but today they have bigger storage spaces. They have something like hard drive, solid state disk, SSD they call it, and they have today they have RDS, what you see on the Amazon cloud, and different storage spaces. That's how much things have changed. So we're gonna look at the primary job of the computer. Like she said it well. Is information processing. Information processing is pretty much called computation, right? So when you think about the computer and what it does, you of course think that it very well computes, right? What does a computer do? It computes. Like when I was growing up, somebody was asked, "What is a floppy disk, and why is it a floppy disk?" They said a floppy disk is a disk that flops, and then why is it a floppy disk? Because it flops. That's interesting. So, so, so all it does is just to compute, okay? And we've seen it today in many areas. It changes information from one to another. It changes, transforms information whichever way possible. So when you look at when you talk about computation, compute, it's just another way of saying information transformation. Like, I'll give you an example. You have a collection of data, maybe accounting data, and you want to separate the 50s from the hundreds, or the dimension in 50s from the dimensions that are in 100. So that's data you're trying to separate. When you separate them into 50s and hundreds, they become information. You see what I mean? They become information. And that information is held as a fact in various fields. That's why you have medical data, you have legal data, you have all kind of data, because these are things that are verifiable. They are checked out and they are good. So one special form of information the computer processes is instruction. So the way the computer handles instruction is not the way we humans handle instruction. These are the commands that programmers give to the computer. So when I'm dealing with the computer, I have to write a software. And to write the software, I have to use a high level language like Python, C, C++, Java. And that's what I use to be able to interact with the computer. But then the program that I'm using to interact with the computer now has to interact with the computer directly. And these are the two different things between the interface that I myself as a human requires to interact with the computer, and the interface the program that I write requires to interact with the computer. So so every time you do anything with the computer, you are really talking to a program, which is talking to the computer. So you are never really directly talking to the computer. You're talking through the languages of the computer. You're talking to something that speaks the language the computer speaks. And the language that the computer speaks, does anybody do you know? Does anybody know about the language that the computer speaks? Ones and zeros, and they are called machine language, right? They are ones and zeros. They are called machine language. Okay. So even most programmers find it very difficult to write machine language. The machine languages, man, they're not a joke. You need to understand how they operate. Like when you write, say when we write our names are going through some controller arrangements where each of the character in our name is represented by a given either decimal, most of the time hexadecimal number, and that's what they represent. Like for instance, I know capital A is like 65 in ASCII. You see, it's an American standard for noting the characters that come out of the keyboard. A keyboard is also a part of a console, okay? and back in the days. But today, when you hear console, it's really talking about the monitor. Okay, so there are 4 things specifically a computer will do. 4 things. It means that a computer will have to take information in, right? Then process the information, right? And then bring the information out, right? Then it will change the information from one thing to another, right? It will first of all read the information. It will get the information. That means you will put the information. It's called input. You put the information in, then it will read it. You will read it to the memory. Then the processor will now process the information from the memory. Because when you put the information into the computer, it has to stay somewhere before the processor calls it. So when you put the information in, like you type something in the keyboard, it has to be retained in a memory address in the memory. So once it's there, when it's time for the computer to interact with that message, the processor will do that job. Once the processor processes it, maybe you type an A, and the processor processes it and it makes sure it's an A, and that A shows up on your screen. These are 4 things that computer do. Always remember that. It will take something in, put it in the memory, processor processes once in the memory, and it outputs it. So when you hear input, it means you are putting something into the computer. Output meaning you are bringing something out of the computer, which means the result of the processing comes out. So in that case, we are going to talk about the information storage. So, like I said, there are 4 things the computer is doing, and the middle part of it is basically storing information. Like when the information goes into the memory is a part of information storage, only that is temporary. It's not permanent like the hard drive or hard disk. So we talk about all of that. So the computer stores different types of information in different ways depending on what the information is, how much storage space is required, and how quickly it needs to be accessed. The information is stored in short-term memory, and it also has long-term memory. So we'll differentiate all of that. So the long-term memory will be like your hard drive, hard disk, flash drive, and all of that, thumb drive. Then the short-term memory will be like the memory on the laptop, the memory on your phone. Because they are short-term memory because each time you turn that computer off or that phone off, guess what? If you didn't save that information, you lose them. Although they are advancing the technology whereby before you turn it off, it will ask you if you want to save them and stuff like that. So your system memory or random access memory, when you see RAM is telling you random access memory, it holds information that you or the computer are working with. Like as we are working right now, it's holding that information. Everything we're doing is addressed to the memory. And these are the short-term memory as designed to be able to feed information to the processor. The short-term memory is designed to feed information to the processor in a jiffy, in a mind-boggling speed. It's so fast that you won't even recollect it as a human being. It's high speed. Okay, so the process is not slowed down because there's registration. Every time somebody requests something to be done by a computer, it registers that and it's timed. That way, the processor will not be slow. It will be working so fast at all time. Okay. However, the short-term memory disappears when the computer is turned off, like I said. So let's talk about the long-term storage. The long-term storage of memory is provided by your hard disk, okay, or the floppy disk, or other devices like CD, DVD, ROMs, and all of that. We don't have those CD, ROMs anymore. I don't see a lot of them. I see a lot of DVD, ROMs laying around all over the place. Let's see here if this thing is done. This one account we canceled it is gone. And let's see if this one account. Okay, let's see if this one account is ready for us to play with. Oh, I hope it's ready for us to play with. Come on now. Still not ready for us to play with. Let me see. It's not ready for us to play with. Um, well, there's nothing to do. It's just that we set up an account. It's not ready. About billing and taking account support. Let me see what I can do about this. I'm just gonna put in a ticket to see educate general info getting started. Okay, let's do that one. Account structure, data privacy, security compliance. Where is my? Let me just say where is my resource. Let's just say new. We created an account. Let's see what they say. Okay. You guys know what I'm doing right now? Huh?
Well, you're
Yes.
contacting support just yeah,
To
just
see
to
if they
activate
can
the
help
account.
us get
Yeah,
this thing going quick here. Okay,
right,
good,
right.
good. You got it. So I'm gonna do it by chat. No, let me do it by phone so I can talk to somebody. And I'm gonna use my phone. So basically, you guys are learning too many things at one time. This is the real world here. So 75684 836. Let's submit that. They're gonna call right away, like they always do. Yep, I'm gonna get a call here. You guys, I'm gonna put it on speaker too when I talk to them. Oh, callback service unavailable. I wonder why. Oh, they have a problem. Oh, it seems like we're having a bad day, guys. Let's just do our hard way. It seems like they have issues over there.
They're having issues too, right?
Yes, normally when you create it, about 5, 10, 15 minutes, boom. Once they check your credit card, it's good, and you good too. So anyway, that's fine. So like I was saying, the long-term memory. Let's type in long-term memory here. The way the class is structured, you have Google to use. You have the access to Google. You shouldn't have a lot of headache. You have Google. I'm not saying you shouldn't learn or study anything, but you should use the resources around you. Okay? So we're gonna look at the images of long-term memory, computer long-term memory. That's what I should have typed. Sorry. Even if it's not Google, you still have Bing. You can use all of that to get the information you need. Okay, as you can see, long-term memory types, duration, and capacity. You see it for yourself. You see the hard disk. This one is for a laptop. Okay, they are so small, 3.5, 3.5. Okay, 3.5 inch. That's what that is. And let's click this and see if there are other ones that we can look at. Okay, this is not talking about a computer. I want one that talks about a computer. Okay, long time memory time, duration, and capacity. No, that's not what we want. All right, I think Google is better than than Bing. That's my opinion. It's so hard to find something on there. Long term computer memory. If you notice, I'm typing long time computer memory so that way it will revert us back to hard drive, hard disk, and all of that. Okay. Okay, this one says types of computer memory. Okay, this is interesting. Let's take a look. Primary memory. Okay, ROM and RAM, read-only memory, and write random access memory. Okay, secondary memory. So read-only memory are those kind of memory that you have in like a CMOS. You can't erase them. It's read-only. You can't change them. You can't update them. None of that. Now you have the secondary memory. You see solid-state drive like SSD. These are secondary memory. Like hard disk. These are secondary memory of a computer. These are what they call long-term memory. Right now, to get an understanding of this here primary memory is the short-term memory of the computer. Here you have random access memory and you have ROM, read-only memory is non-volatile. That means it's gonna be there as long as it has a battery. Guys, this is gonna be there as long as you have a battery. You have the prom, Eeprom, okay? This Eeprom means erasable, editable program, erasable, editable, programmable. Programmable, erasable, programmable. This one, erasable, editable, programmable. And this one here is RAM, random access memory. It's like your memory, the laptop memory, SRAM, DRAM. These are what they are. What you're looking at here. These are the ones. Okay, these are the ones that where everything you type on the computer is addressed on this side. That's where they wait for the processor to process them. Now, the secondary memory and the long-term memory, like your hard drive, like your SSD, like your compact disc, floppy disk, and magnet tapes. Magnet tapes are, I don't know if anybody know about VHS, those tapes, cassette tapes, all of those. Those
That's
are
so old.
those are
Yeah.
magnetic tapes. Those are magnetic tapes. Okay, those are magnetic tapes. So let's take a look and see what the hard drive looks like. I've already shown you guys laptop hard drive. Let's show you like a computer, regular computer hard drive. So we type in head DD here, and we say versus SSD, solid state disk, and we see for ourselves what it says. Always use the resources around you. Okay, a solid state drive or SSD can speed up the performance of a computer significantly, often more than what a faster processor or RAM can. See? Then a hard disk drive or hard disk HDD is cheaper and offers more storage. These ones are common. That's the one you have probably have on your laptop right now. If you have a newer laptop, you have SSD. While SSD disks are more expensive and generally available in 64 gigabyte to 256 gigabyte configurations, they are on the newer laptops, also on your mobile devices. You have the SSDs on there. So the difference between the two, can somebody tell me?
I know SSD is faster. I believe.
SSD is faster, but it has less storage space. And
Right. Right.
hard disk drive, they are not faster, but they hold more storage space because
More.
they are the older technology. They have more storage, but the SSD are the newer one. That's the direction we're going. But they are faster. They are almost cutting up to the fastness of the RAM and the CPU. In the next future, they will get up to that. So that makes it very fluid for communication in computers. Imagine that. So that's the major difference between the two. You can see it here too, based on the ratings that people gave. Hard disk, solid state drive. Hard disk has higher latency, longer read write times. This one has lower latency, faster read write. You see, lower latency, faster read write. Higher latency. Latency means slowness or tardiness in execution. So the older technology is tardy, the newer technology is not tardy. Then the noise is high here on the hard disk. Sometimes you can even hear the noise of a hard disk running, but SSD is not the same case. Okay, it doesn't have moving parts like in hard disk. SSD doesn't. This one doesn't have moving parts like here. Okay, so it doesn't have the rotation like needed in the solid state drive. It uses less power and it doesn't generate heat or noise. So let me show you. You see this one? See how it is? These are magnetic surfaces. Actually, they're not magnetic surfaces. These are luminous surface. And what you see right here is something that reads the luminous surface, which is somehow as they spin, they become magnetic. Okay. Some of you guys might have known about electricity. As they spin, they become magnetic. So when you have an iron, okay, you have an iron with some kind of electricity or coils around it. when it's moving around, it can become magnetic. And then if you have a coil around the iron, I mean, if you have a regular iron with coils on it moving around magnetic field, meaning moving within around magnet, it produces electricity. So these are some interesting stuff that we have to know. So you already have electric current flowing, and now you have an ion turning around. Chances are it's going to be able to exhibit some magnetic effect. That's what's going on here. So because of the shiny surface, it's able to contain is able that shiny surface and the movement of electricity is able to hold some information. Okay, and then that little stylus that you see right there reads it. It has a laser on the edge. It reads that stuff. It reads it. And because of that moving part is noisy, it could be noisy over the years. And the metal is, when metals move around, the molecules move around, it could be noisy. But in this SSD, it's not the same thing. It's more like a RAM. Let me show you guys what a RAM looks like. So SSD is more like a RAM. Like, okay, you know the memory on your laptop. What it looks like. I think I have some here. I can actually show you guys. Let me stop sharing and show you guys this. Yeah, I'll stop sharing and then I'll show you guys. Okay, so you see this? You guys see it? See it?
No, no, I don't see it.
You don't see it? I don't know why you don't
Yeah, I
see
have
it.
to.
Does anybody does anybody else see this?
No.
Nobody sees it? Can you click on your screen a little bit?
So we can only see L.
What can you see?
Letter L.
Oh, okay. I know what to do. I'm just gonna refresh. All right. So everybody should be back now. So everybody sees this now?
Yes, we can see now.
So that's the RAM. That's the same thing, almost the same thing as in SSD. You see, it doesn't have any moving part, but it holds information. It holds data for a long time. But while
Okay.
it is on the computer, while the computer is on, it will do that. But once it's removed, it doesn't do that. But in SSD, it's different. They made it in such a way that it will now hold a long time storage. Okay, so I will try to get more information on the inside of it so we can take a look. Okay, uh, SSD internal. So we see what's inside.
You talked about the floppy drives. That's wow. I remember those way back.
Oh, that's way back. That's old.
That
That's
was
old.
so crazy. Those
That's
things I remember taking them
old.
from.
They don't have
Yeah,
that.
that's some
They
old
have that.
technology.
They have that laying around here and there and stuff like that.
I have not seen that. Even with the CD-ROM drives, I know that now they have the DVD,
Yeah.
but the CD-ROMs they used to have.
So this is an internal of SSD. Like I
We
showed you
can see
guys.
your screen just now.
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share it. Don't worry. I'm gonna
Oh,
share it.
okay.
I'm gonna share it. Don't worry. I'm gonna share my screen so you see it.
Sure.
Now you're gonna see it. Let's go. Okay. All right. So where is it at? Right here. You see this? Almost the
Yes.
same thing as the RAM that I showed you guys. So they have advanced the technology. Now they're using this to store information for a long time. So that's how technology is advancing. Things are changing so much. Okay. All right. Let's go back over to see if these guys have taken care of the business. Y'all know the story about that one, right? Okay, let's see here. I'll be so happy if they took care of it. Looks like they took care of it. Let's see. Yay, they did! Awesome! This is great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, taking a look at this, you can see there's no running instances, there's no elastic IPs, there's no dedicated host, there's no snapshots, there's no volumes, there's no load balancers, no key pairs. We just have security group. This security group is a default security group. You always get it once you get one of this account. Okay, that's the one you always gonna have. There is the default one. This is the default one. Let me open it up for you guys to take a look and see what it's all about. So in the default one, it's telling you that all traffic, you allow all traffic, but that's not a good practice. So eventually when we create an EC2 or a volume in the cloud, we're probably gonna not use this one. We're gonna remove this one. All right, guys. So you shouldn't allow a computer is like a basket full of holes. So you want to plug all the holes. But this one is telling us whenever we have one of those baskets, instead of plugging the holes, that we should allow all traffic. That's a no-no. We don't want to do that. All right. So let's move forward here and take the and hold the bull by the horns. And we're gonna go ahead and like I said, I'm gonna show you guys about EC2. Now it's time for us to shine, and we're gonna create a server up here. Probably we're gonna create a server that we're gonna use to set up a website, maybe a cloud movement website, and all that stuff. You guys will host it, and we get it done together. All right. So now, do you see what it says here?
Launch.
Do you see what it says here? Something launch. So let's see what we can launch. We launch. Always remember to use free tier. Free tier is the one that you don't have to pay. I know I don't wanna pay, so I'm gonna use the free tier. And when you get access to MI, please do not do anything that don't make any sense, please. Because if you do, I will shut you off, and then you have to use your own credit card to get yours. Which eventually is what you're gonna do for the end of I mean when we start doing AWS, because you know things can go haywire. I'm just trying to hold you guys hands at this time. So I'm gonna click on free tier only. That way I don't make a mistake and take any stupid thing that I might regret later. So right now we're gonna look for a very nice server that we're gonna use. I really recommend Ubuntu, because Ubuntu is very popular. I also like CentOS, Red Hat at the same time. But Red Hat, you're gonna need support, and their support you pay for it. So for us, I think we go for Ubuntu. I think 18.04, but I'm not seeing 18.04 here at this moment. Oh, I just saw it. It's right here. So as it says free tier, you see right here, free tier. I'm just gonna select it, and I make sure it was 64 bit. And as you can see, you need to know for the exam, you need to know EC2, you need to know the types, the family, and the type, and all of that. So you need to know all of that, the type. And this type we chose is only a one core, one processor, and it has 1 GB of RAM, and it's elastic block. It's elastic block system. Okay, that means the database is EBS. All right, it's not GP. It's not. Let's see the difference between that and another. So we have the EBS versus I think GP2 or something. Let's see the difference. Okay, this one is general purpose SSD. That's faster, right? GP2 is the default for EBS volume system. Okay. All right. Basically, GP2 is not what I was supposed to be looking at. I was supposed to be looking at EBS and maybe HDD. Yeah, because it seems like EBS is already SSD. Okay. All right. So EBS could use either SSD or HDD. All right, you could use both. But one thing I noticed is the one that uses SSD are more expensive. I wonder what that is. Hello? Okay, it's much better now. So I need you guys to, when you guys go home, to look at this website. This one here. I'm going to copy and paste it. Control C. So when we come back in class, you tell me so much about this to the SSD and HDD as it applies to EBS. I'm going to put it here. Somebody's making a lot of noise. Please tone it down. So I'm gonna put it here in the class so everybody will have access to it. Control V. Oh, okay. I thought I copied it the right thing. I wanted to copy just this. Copy. And we go back. We come here. We put it here. There we go. So guys, pay attention. This is a very important part of the whole program. I need you to understand EBS elastic block storage, volumes, and once you understand it, you see they have two. They have the general purpose, which is SSD, and they also have another one, input output operation in random or sequential. So that one is HDD. So I want you guys to look at the optimized HDD. They call it ST1 and code HDD SC1. And I want you guys to look into the detail aspect of it as it relates to EBS, elastic block storage. Okay, so that's that. Let's go back and get this thing done. Okay, all right. So we chose that EBS only, and we're not gonna go and review and launch. We're gonna go next so that we can know all the details of what we are building. We want to read through all of that details. Sometimes you want to set the subnet to what we want, to the availability zone that we want. I would like to go to availability zone. Is US East 2A. That's usually East Coast, and you know we're on East Coast, so it'll be faster for us. So let's go here. So I want to take a look and see. Okay, I'm not doing anything with the subnetting, just leave it as it is. But let's just take a look and see what's there for subnetting. Okay, just enable. And then capacity reservation is open. Okay, that means we can change, resize it, scale it as we choose. What do you want when you say shut down? When you say shut down, stop. Don't do terminate because terminate will wipe the whole server out. But you want to do terminate when you say you don't want the server anymore, then that's when you do terminate. That means it will terminate that server. It will take it out of, it will be out of commission. Okay, so I've looked at some of this stuff. They look good, and the network part of it, we're not adding anything else. That's good, unless we are doing a multi-home server. Now, everything here looks good. You can put an optional statement of what it's all about. We can say server for the future website, something like that. And then we can go to the storage. Now we want to add storage. You see, for this size, they give you 8 by default, and I advise you to keep it exactly as they, give it to you. If not, if you add anything more, then you're gonna have to pay for it. Chances are you will pay for it. So it looks good. You can add a tag if you want, which has a key and value. So basically, you say, what's the key here? We say server. The value will be the website, I guess. So that's that. So we go to configuration, security configuration. Here we have to have this. This one we have to have it. Why? Because we're gonna have to access this server remotely. And we also have to have that again, but for IPv6. So the IPv6 should be just this. Let me see. It should be, yeah, it should be just that for IPv6. That's good enough. So let's look at it again. So we added 2 rules. That's just about it. Everything else is by default, and that allow all. We're gonna have to change it when the time comes. So we review and launch. So we look at everything and make sure it's right. So the only thing that's not right is this one. So we're gonna edit, and we're gonna go to security group. That's the security group description is that. Create new. Okay, let's just go. We'll take care of that later, or maybe we never choose it whenever we have something going. All right. Okay. All right. We're gonna launch this. Now, this is another important aspect of the whole thing. You want to create a key here. We don't have an existing key, so what we do is we create a new key pair. Key pair is what we use to log into the server. It's like you have 2 keys, you broke it in 2, and you give me the bottom part of it, and you give the whole world the bottom part of it, and you keep the top part of it. So that means that anybody that the bottom part of it will be able to read the message that you sent to them, because you're going to use the top part of it to write that message and actually include a copy of that with the message, so that when they get it, they can put it together, and then it makes sense to them. They can read the message. It's based on mathematics, okay? So the math is already worked out. So all you have to do, you use the key pair, which is public and private key. I will show you guys later what it looks like. Now let's call it cloud movement, guys. All right, we call it cloud movement. That's the name of the key. So maybe I have another key that has that, so I will kind of do it like this so that it doesn't confuse us. MT. Let's do it like this, okay? Code movement, okay? Let's do it like this. So we download it. Make sure we download it, okay? Okay, it's down here. I save it. We'll see it later. So I launch this. Without that key, you cannot get into this server. You can try all you want, you never get in. So we're gonna open it in the folder where is that, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like, and I'm gonna also show you guys the tool that you need to access it. So as you can see, the server is up. We'll visit the server later. For now, let's go to here. You get a PEM file. You see, that's a PEM file. But this means nothing to you, especially when you're on a Windows operating system or Linux. If you're on a Mac, you can use this. But here, we cannot use it. So we have to get something called PuTTY. There's something called PuTTY, right? So we're going to get that. I hope somebody's writing all these things down. So we get PuTTY, right? That's PuTTY, isn't it? So I already have PuTTY here. You can download yours here, but I already have one. So I go where I have it, and I click on it, and I don't open it as a administrator, just open it at regular, and then it's gonna open. As you can see here, this is the PuTTY, and I'm gonna show you guys how to set it up so you can get into that server. But for now, let's go back and see the server that we stood up. All right, this is the server here. It looks lovely. Let's view it. Okay. Wonder why it's taking a long time. While it's doing that, let's try something else. Okay, so let's go to the EC2. Okay, now there's a running instance right there, as you can see. There's a running instance. The instance is running, which is awesome. Can you guys see it?
I can see it.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, you see the instance is running.
Right.
It shows it right here is running. It has the security groups. It has the time, the IP address. This is not a this is a public IP only. It's not elastic IP. Elastic IP is an IP when you restart the server, it's not gonna change. You're only charged on when you are not using elastic IP. So when you set up an elastic IP and you are using it, you are not charged for it. Okay? So we're not gonna set an elastic IP right now, but we will set it later. So now you've seen the instance is running, but the question is, the way this instance is running, is it the best practice? Is it configured very well for security? So we have to check it out and see what the case is for this instance. Let's go to console home and see what the case is with it. Maybe this here, yeah. It was supposed to show us okay, not resource group. That's EC2. Supposed to show us all the check mark launch instance machine grade and all that. Okay. Okay, let's try dashboard here. Okay. Okay. Elastic IP, security group. Let me check. There's something not right here. There's something I'm supposed to get. I'm not getting it, so let's see here why I'm not getting it. There's something I'm supposed to be getting. I'm not getting it. It's not this. It's not that. Okay. I don't know if they have made any change. I'm not aware of any change. Usually, when you log in, it's supposed to show you. It's supposed to show you. Let me see if there's save create group. Try and get it. I don't think it's made. They made any outstanding change. I don't think so. Okay. Anyway, this is different from last time I did it. It's not showing me that, so let's dive deeper into the running instances and see why it's not showing us
But if you check the lockdown cloud movement, the drop down button
that. To click on it, okay, I'm gonna click
on
on
the
it.
top.
Uh, Now that's just account and all those kind of. Okay, let's try my security credentials. I don't think it is, but we try that. It was supposed to show me an outline of everything, including. Okay, this is it. Thank you very much. So we
You're
want to
welcome.
check. We want to check and see if everything is like right. Okay, like okay, all right. Usually, you see this key here. You're supposed to delete it. So it's not recommended to log in as root. Always remember that. You're supposed to delete that one. Okay, supposed to delete. Okay. Um, We're not gonna need this one. No. What is the status for that one? Okay. Account identifier. It's not exactly this, but it's always it looks close. Security credential. Use this page to manage the credential of your account. To manage credential to IT access management. It's not exactly, but I do know I have to activate multi-factor authentication. Let's activate that. Okay, there are three different ways: virtual multi-factor authentication, UTF security key, and other hardware multi-factor authentication. I usually use the virtual one because there's a solution called Authy that is on my phone that I use. So we'll do that one, okay? Let's continue. You guys see how it's done. So we're just gonna show the QR code. I'm gonna scan this, but first I'm gonna show you guys what it is. That means I'll stop sharing. I'm gonna stop sharing, okay? So on my phone here, I have the Authy. This is the Authy. You go to Google Play Store, you type Authy, you will download it, okay? So now that we've downloaded it, we need to add an account. I will say add account, and then I will scan the QR code. So I'll say add account. I will put cloud movement. This is what I get. I haven't put cloud movement yet, but I will put it. But it's telling me to scan the QR code. Now I'm gonna bring that up where the QR code is, and I make sure it's clear enough. And then I'm gonna, you see, I clicked on it. Then I'm gonna scan it. Once it scans, I'm gonna show it to you guys. You see, it's scanned, and I'm showing it to you guys. You guys see it?
I see it. I
Yeah.
see it.
Now I'm gonna put the name so that I don't forget or look for it whenever I'm trying to log into this account. So I'm gonna say cloud movement. So I'm gonna put that there, cloud movement. So that way I know, okay, that's the account. So I never forget. So I save that. So now you see, this is it. So whenever I log into this account, I'm gonna come here and see this number that is generated every 1 second or so, and I'll put it in, and it will allow me one of the ways that it will allow me access. Okay. Okay. So now it's asking me. I'm gonna start sharing the screen again. You see all the process it has to take me through before this is confirmed done. So I'm gonna go back to share the screen again. So sharing that screen again, you see here is asking me to put the number that I see here. It's just basically saying if you have it, now put it here. And then I put the first one. It's gonna change. Once it changes, I put the next one. So the next one is changed to the next one, and I'm putting the next one. 49, right? So I say assign MFA. Then that one is done. So now for this one, before you delete anything here, make sure you had access to the server already before you delete anything. Anyway, we're not creating any new access key. We already have a new access key, but it's recommended that once you create, you get into the server, you create another key using party, and then you remove the old one and use the new one you created. That's one of the ways it's protection or something like that. So this one we're not using this, okay? We're not using any of this, so that's good. We're not using any of this either, so we are good on here. We are good to go here. However, we need to do we are under identity access management IAM. So we need to do create users. Every one of you have to have their own credential to get into the system. So we're gonna I prefer to use the names. Who wants to go first? Okay. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Nobody's saying anything. Okay, I'll choose at random. Judine. Judine Connor. Is Judine here? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Now. Is Judine here? No? Oh, okay. Wow. Well, add another user. Who wants to go? Nicole.
Agatha.
Who is that?
AGATHA.
What is that? Janelle?
Yes, Janelle. Janell. Two L's. Love it. LOVETT.
Who else? Charity?
Yes.
Charity what?
CH.
Chomtai.
CHEP. No, CHE. No. P. KIRUI. There's instead of double, yes, yeah, that one, that's an R.
This like this?
R. No, there's an R before you. Yes.
Agatha.
Yes. SIMO.
S I.
SISS. Oh, Sam.
Oh,
SI. Simo 2. SIMOTWO. Like 2. Number 2. TWO. There's no O before W. Yes, perfect.
so that's everybody then. Oh, Rolanda. Is Eddie here? I know you guys are being quiet, guys. Is Eddie here? One, two, three, four, five, six. Who else is here that we are missing? There has to be someone here that we are missing.
I know Wilton was here. I'm not sure if she's still here.
Oh, Azit left.
Not sure.
Who? Okay, let's move forward. If they're not here, they're not here. So I'm gonna give everybody a programmatic access. Oh, management console access. For now, we do other stuff another day. Auto-generated password. Yeah, let's do auto-generated password. If we do custom password, people will see it. Let's do auto-generated, okay, guys? Besides, we might not even want to use that to log in. So now we created that, and let's create a group. We just call it member, team member, team member. But then we have to select what we want to be in the group, what we want the people in the group, what we want them to do. Like, what would we want them to do? I would just say I give them right to administrative access so that way you guys will know what is going on in their account. For now, let's do that. So we'll do other things later. So that's one group that we have. we can adjust or edit the permissions if we want to do that, but let's just leave it as it is, and we go next. And we just gonna say like we did before. These are member admin. Let's just say the key is admins, and team members is the value. So these are for team members who are admins, very much so. So now we're gonna create the users because we put those people in that. With that, we put everybody in that group, and let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fine. Now we have to download this because if we don't download that, we'll be in a lot of trouble because we don't know who's what. Okay, so let's go and open it up and see because it will give everybody a password. So you want to find a secure way to give everybody their password. So let's look and find, and after that we access the server, and then we'll close up the class for the day. So I believe we just downloaded that. I'm not sure where it is, but I'll go back again to open it. So new user credentials, right? New user. Okay, this is it here. So everybody's password is there. So I'm gonna ask you guys to download the app. I'll give you guys the app this over this weekend, and then you guys will receive your password, everything in there. Okay, it's not a big deal. It's a simple thing. I'm gonna move this to the other window so people don't see your passwords. This thing is not refusing. Ah, it's refusing. I'm trying to make it go away, but it doesn't want to go away, so I cancel it out then. All right, cool. So we are here now, and I can actually send this to you guys. Actually, that's much better. Yep. So I won't be responsible for anything. But sending it by email, email is still not secure, right? All right. I'll do it like I said I will do it, okay? Don't worry. I'll do it like I said I will do it. I will send it to you guys individually in a secure manner. You guys will have your own URLs and everything. But now it's time for us to access the server. I'm going to close out on this. All right. I'm going to close out on this. And we're going to try and access the server. But before we do, we want to go and get the key pair that we have created. All right. Let me find our key pair. I think it starts with CLD. CLD. This is it right here. So we have putty here, and I want to go here and copy that and go here and load that. You know this is the wrong server now because remember I canceled this old server that we have, so I'm gonna take that out, and I am going to copy the URL of the server that we want. So by doing so, we'll have to go to here. We already set up IAM, which is Identity Access Management. That way we track everybody. I mean, we know who logged in or what. But with Cloud Trail, we can track what the person is doing. It's like we know what they're doing on there. So we go here to the instance. The instance is referring to the server that we stood up. You can call it virtual private server. Okay. So as you can see here, this is the server is running, but we need some information about this server. So one of the things I like to do is to move this up so I can see. So I need this information. So I copy it to the clipboard. I try not to use the IP address. I normally use copy that to the clipboard. I normally will copy it here. Remember, we're using Ubuntu, so you have to do the username Ubuntu at that qualified domain name from Amazon, and we're gonna call this Cloud Movement, okay? Because we have a new server, we call it Cloud Movement, and we're not gonna save it yet. We're gonna save it after we make sure we have the right PPK. Right now it has the wrong PPK, so we're gonna get rid of that PPK. But before we get the right PPK, we have to do something amazing. So we have to download another app called Porty. It's called Portigen. It's called Portigen. Take note of this. It's called Porty Generator, but I already have one, so I'm just gonna click on there and it's gonna pop up. Once it pops up, what I'll do with this, I'll explain it to you. So I'm gonna import the key here, and what I'm gonna import is that .pem key that we got after we set up the server, which is actually in the downloads. And remember, I started it off with CLD, so that means if I type CLD there, something that looks like it's gonna pop up, which is this, and then I'm gonna import it here. Once I imported it here, you can see right here is the key pair. You have the public key right there, okay, and then here you can say save private key, okay, but we want to save it in a place that we set out for it, which is here. I like to save it here, okay. I'll save it right here. So I will use the same name as the same name here, which is Code Movement or Cloud Movement, whatever that is. But this time it's gonna be .ppk, right? So you just do .ppk, and it knows it's a ppk file. All right. So now we changed the PEM file. We changed the PEM file to PPK. PPK refers to public private key. It's called a key pair. So once we change it to that key pair, we're good to go. And now we load that key pair here because we're going to use that information to log inside the cloud, right? Which is here. Now, once we set that up, we want to save this session. Now we save this session. The session is saved. That means I can go out here and go back in, and that session will be there. So I'm going back in now, and let's see if that section will be there. So the section is right here. See, nothing changed. So these ones are no longer good. I will delete the ones that are no longer good. And let's be careful here. This one is the new one. As you can see, 114 is the same here. Then let's go to this one. This one is different, so we get rid of this one so we don't get confused. Now we have the one we want. Now let's log in for the first time. Can you guys see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, let's log in. It's taking a little while to log in. Maybe let's give it some time and see what error message we get. So this one, the PIM, and I changed it, cancel that out. Okay, network connection timed out. Something must be wrong. So let's go back and see what went wrong. They're probably having a network issue. So to prove that, let me try to log in with another account that I know so that we can rule out whether or not they have network issues. Okay, guys? I think I have an account there. Another account there. Let me think. I think I do. Yep, I have this account there. Yeah, let's try it. So I know this account works. If it doesn't work, that means they have a problem. So, yeah, it seems like they have a problem. So the account that normally works, it doesn't work. So let's see the error message that we get at the same time. The error message, if it says network, yeah, same thing. The account having a problem. We can't get in. But just before we decide and say that's the problem, let's check the security group and see if it is what we want it to be. All right, let's go to security group here. Security group, no. Before we conclude, let's check. Okay, so we have the default. The default says to allow everything, if you guys remember, but that's not what we want. Outbound rules, one permission entry. Okay, so we go back to this one. Okay. So inbound rules. Huh. Edit. Well, inbound rule is correct. We're telling it that if you are coming from anywhere and if you are coming in, that you should come in. Yeah? But it didn't do it. Okay. Yeah. We go back again to security groups. Yeah, it's set up right. We're telling it if you're coming from here, you can get in, but you didn't get in. So let's go back again to party. I would have so much wished for it to get in for the first time. That would be like good. Okay. So let me even try and see if we might have made a mistake somewhere here. Maybe we used the wrong one. You never know. But it says network. Once it says network, I knew it's a problem. If it's timing out or something different or whatever, then we can troubleshoot that. But it says network. So, okay, this is good now. That means it's getting in. Okay, awesome. So we're in there. You guys see it? You guys see
Yes,
it?
I can see it. I can see it.
Now we're in as Ubuntu, and we can do many configurations on here. But there's one thing I wanted you guys to wanted us to do. We wanted to see the host name for this host name CTL. So this is the host name. Yep. That's that. If we want to go in as a root user, we have to do it like this. Then we have the power to do whatever we want on this machine. But remember what I told you guys, like we wouldn't be logging in as the whole idea of AWS the cloud is not to use the root to log in, Okay, as we logged in, we didn't use the root to log in, as you guys recollected. We used Ubuntu. Just look at it here, right? We used Ubuntu. All right. So it's recommended to use the public-private key to log in. But for me, I normally go and remove the public-private key, okay? Because every user have its own. Like right now, when I logged in, I use Ubuntu. But if we go to, if we change directory and go SSH and go ls, I can look into this authorized file, authorized keys, sorry. In there, you're gonna see that key that we made. I can even show it to you guys right now. Let me blow it up and then go back to party and go back to, oh, not party, go back to that file, which is right here. No, it's right here. Click on this one. Nope, go back. Cloud program. Okay, it's right here. Let's just open it so we can compare it to what we see there. See? I will put it line by line. Let's move this out and then we'll go line by line. You see for yourself it's the same. The public key is the same as that. See? Okay, look at this line. Just look at that line and then let me go and bring this up. Check that line. See if there's a similarity. That line, I see that line here. The first one. Oh, actually, this is the root, right? It's not the same. Actually, it is. I just saw it. Look at this line. Check this line out. Let me back up. Check that line out from here. Check that out, guys.
Yeah.
Yep, you have to have sharp eyes, guys, sharp eyes.
Yeah, it's in there.
So that's the same one. Normally, what I do is I delete it, and already what I do. Okay, let me show you guys good practice. Okay, you see now we have this right. It's on the root account. Remember when we created this, we used the root account. We have the root access from when we're creating it from get go. Okay, but really we don't want this. We want to get rid of this and put a new one just in case if anything happens, we want to get back in there. So normally what I do is I use the party. I use the party gen, and I usually will create a new one with party gen like that. So to create a new one, what you do is you just say generate, but you have to be moving your mouse like that, like that, like that. As fast as the more you move it faster, the more complex it's gonna yield a very good key pair, public-private key pair. So the more you do it, that is done. You see, you created a new one. So we're gonna save it now. We're gonna save public-private key, and we're gonna say yes. And we're gonna go here to save it, but we're not gonna save it as that one. We're gonna save it as number B or something. Are you guys getting me? And this is also good when you're working in a company, you're working with vendors. You always have to have two of these just in case when the people stop, when you stop working with them, you can easily say what? You know what? I'm done with y'all. You just go and kill this. Make sense, guys? Make sense?
That
So
makes sense a little. Yeah, yeah.
now I'm gonna copy this one, which is the public key. I'm gonna copy this one, all of it. Okay. If you like, you can change it to like you see how you have here. You can change this comment so that it's something you remember. Like you can say whatever it is, Movent B. So you remember what it is. So when When time comes, you know, okay, that's that one. So I know this is one I have to remove because I'm done with these people. I'm done with them, right? It's gonna overwrite that content right away. Okay, you see right here, the name is changed, code move MB. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna copy that and paste it in here. So next time in the future, we're gonna delete this other one and we can still log into the system. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do on this key, on this terminal. We're gonna this is what you call terminal when you are listening to people in the computer field and they say terminal. That's what they're referring to. Okay, this could be bash or shell. I think this is shell. So now what we're gonna do, we do insert. Okay, you do insert like I. You will see insert at the bottom when you click on I. You see inside it's telling you you can write on this now. So you move your arrow down. You see that arrow moving? I mean the cursor moving, guys.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So he's pacing, 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 pacing. So this one is code movement. I'm gonna do code movement 2. I think we accomplished a lot today. So now it's insert. That means I can now insert that here. It's inserted. Okay? It's inserted. It's good. Good to go. So what we can do now is I can do escape. When I push escape, and then I do control colon. I mean shift colon. Sorry, shift colon. Then I do WQ exclamation sign. It saves it. Now it's saved. So now we exit from the server. We're out of the server. So now we're gonna try and see if what we've done, if it makes sense, or if we're just telling stories. So now let's try to use that one to log it into the server. See if it works. If it works, then we delete the other one. That's a good way of doing it. That way, Google don't. I mean, Amazon doesn't even have it. You get it? Okay, listen to this. We're gonna go over to cloud. Remember this, guys? Are you guys with me?
We're with you.
Okay.
I am. I'm even trying to
So we
follow.
got the video. We can still watch the video over and over again. So I clicked on that one. Disconnected. No supported authentication method available. Server sent public key. Okay. So it's telling us using username Ubuntu. Server refuse our access. Absolutely. It's supposed to refuse our access. Can somebody tell me why? See your face right there. You should tell me.
You changed the key or no?
Well, let it say username Ubuntu server refuse our key. Using username Ubuntu server refuse our key. Remember where we were when we were making that key?
Wasn't it the root?
Yep, we were at the root. Now we
Okay.
try to use the
Right.
root to get into the user Ubuntu. It's not gonna work
Okay.
because you're not even supposed to use the root to log
Root.
in. First of
Right.
all right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try it for Ubuntu, and after that we lock up shop. We're gonna close for the day, and then that will get you guys thinking what the cloud is all about, how you have to secure it, all that mumbo jumbo. All right. So now we're gonna cancel out of this, and we're gonna go and go back to Ubuntu and do the same thing. When we log in as Ubuntu, but remember I changed the directory. You guys remember? Remember? I
Yeah, you
changed
did.
the directory by doing sudo I. Once I did that, and then I went to that particular one, it's not, you see, it worked. Because it's Ubuntu. It's using that key that we saved. Remember, I didn't save the second key. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to do the same thing, SSH dot, we're going to change the directory cd.ssh. And now I'm going to do ls list, whatever that's in the directory. We see that. We're going to vi it. We're going to do the same thing here. Authorized keys. See? The key is the same, right? Now
Okay.
we're gonna do insert again, like we did. It's telling us insert. We can insert, but we have to move this over so that we can actually insert that. And now we're gonna try to log in as Ubuntu. I didn't want to. If I wanted to log in with root, I would have, but I wanted to do this one. If we would have went and changed the name to root to login, we would have been successful. I would do it. Okay, I'll do it. So now I do Control V. Oh, I didn't copy that. Let me go copy it. Sorry, guys. So let me go copy it. It's right here, right? So we're gonna copy all of this. Oh no, this is the wrong one. I wanna open it here. Let me open it in Putty. I think I've opened it in PuttyGen, guys. This is PuttyGen. I wanna open it in PuttyGen to see if there's anything wrong with it. Okay. So I'm gonna import, or maybe just open, not import. Just open it. Open. Load private key. Yeah, let's just load this. Okay, I loaded it. Okay, so I'm gonna copy all of that. All right.
Mhm.
Control C to copy it, and now I'm gonna do save private key to save it, and I'm gonna make sure it's this one that I'm saving. I'm gonna say save, and it overwrite existing program. I say yes, overwrite it, and it's overwritten. Now I want to go back and see if it's correct. Okay, it's overwritten like it says. All right, that's fine. So I come over here and I do Control V, and I paste it there. Okay, it's pasted, right?
Mhm.
All right. So now I do escape, and I do shift colon, and I do WQ exclamation sign is saved. Now I do exit, it exited, and we're done. Now let's log in with as let's log in as Ubuntu, then as a root, and let's see what happens since we put the keys in both of them. So we now alternate how we log in. So first we're gonna log in as Ubuntu, and then we're gonna log in as root. But in the future, we have to do it in such a way that we cannot log in as root anymore. But for now, we can log in as root as long as okay. Okay, we're gonna use this key to try to log in as Ubuntu, guys. Right, guys? But I'm not gonna
Okay. That.
save it. I'm not gonna save it on that key, but we're gonna try. Now we log in as Ubuntu. We're in with that new key. Perfect. Now we exit. Let's make sure the new key is there. So we do cd.ssh and we do ls and we var it authorized underscore keys. Don't worry about how fast I am. You will get there. I learned it for years. We're gonna delete all of this one. Now it means that Amazon doesn't even have this key. Isn't that amazing?
Sure.
That's best practice. They don't have this key.
See.
They don't have this key, so we are good. We know what we are doing. We are good. So now, don't do both of them at the same time, okay? Just try one at a time. So that way, okay. So now we can exit, right? We can leave it anyway. Let's open Putty again and do the other one. At least we're in this one already, so it's not gonna lock us out, right?
Mhm.
We're already in this one. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna load this again, But what we're gonna do, we're gonna go up here and change it to root, right? And go down
Mm-hmm.
here and try the new one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what's there first, guys. This is not hard, it's simple. This is the one that we got from Amazon that's here. But we're gonna go change it right quick to this one. Now we're gonna log in. Boom, we're in.
Okay.
so
Wow.
now, so now let's do the same thing. Let's change the directory and go to SSH, which is, by the way, SSH means secure shell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we buy authorized files because everyone has their own authorized file, authorized keys. Okay, where the keys be at? As you can see here, bottom line is right here, capture. So we're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
insert. We're gonna go up, delete that. That means they don't have these keys no more. They don't have these keys no more. The keys we got, we own it.
Okay.
The keys we got, we own it. Ain't nobody know about this key. So that's the beauty of it. So you guys get the perspective where I'm coming from now. You guys are now getting understanding of what the cloud is all about. This is a computer that's in the cloud. You can't touch it, you can't feel it. But you can do a lot of stuff with it. You can change anything to a process. A physical computer, you can change it to a virtual one, physical to virtual, all of that. Processes, you have containers, you have all sort of stuff in software. Now it's possible for mankind. So this is amazingly great. So now we're gonna save it, and that's that. Okay. Now we know we've saved it. We can exit from here. Exit. Okay. And now we can also exit from here because we already logged in with that. So let's try to log in with the. Well, we already done it. That's nothing we can do. We have nothing to lose because we logged into it, both of them, at the same time. So we good. So that's it. We're gonna come to an end with this class, and I hope you guys grab some few nuggets in this class. I know it's too much at one time, but the whole idea is to get you thinking, to get you researching and doing stuff. And next class we're gonna finish all the hardware part. The next class we're gonna finish all the hardware part for sure. Now what we're gonna do now is we're gonna wrap up, and if anybody wanted to say anything, they can say it now. This is time to say it, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing, so you guys can see me before y'all go home. So I like that excitement on your face right there. I really like that excitement. That's priceless. It's like when you know somebody's getting the knowledge, you can see their eyes and their brimming face, and that tells you you did a good job. So how does everybody feel about this evening?
A lot of information, but it's good because it's interesting because I just took a Linux class and some of the stuff that you were talking about, I was kind of like, oh yeah, I remember from some of the things, and then you're talking about the PPK and okay, so I've had some classes. I just have to kind of dust off some of my old books and kind of look through them.
I got the Dida Linux class as well.
Yes, I
Oh
did.
really?
I'm so used to logging in through mobile
She's really good at it. She wasn't saying nothing because she already know.
I'm so
that
used to accessing it through the mobile exam, so but with the
Oh,
coding,
you used to do
yes,
it through the mobile X term?
yes,
Okay.
uh,
You like that one better?
yes, yes, yeah.
You do that
But
one on your you do it on your phone?
no, 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 on the laptop.
Or on your laptop? Or you use X term?
Yes,
They're all pretty much the same thing, but this one is for the cloud.
yeah.
Okay, we get to
Mm-hmm.
do the SLI, the SDKs and APIs and whatnot when the time comes. So for now, we're gonna wrap up. If anybody has a question, let me know. And the assignment or the homework still remain the same. For those that didn't set up their account, it's time for you to set up your account. I am going to finalize the other half, the other part of the assignment, which is sending your account information to the console via email to you guys with the URL and everything, so you can access it and at least get the feel of in there because I gave you admins, right? That means you can see almost everything that's in the console, and then you can report or write your overview on what you think about it when we come on Sunday. So we have a long period of time to ruminate over what we've learned today, and I really enjoyed it. I had fun myself. So let's keep this going, guys. That's it for me. I'm signing out. I'm so tired. I'm beat up, and it's time to go home.
Have a good
Thank you
one.
for your
Thanks.
All
time.
right, y'all
Thank
have a
you.
good night.
Thank you.
All
If
right.
you have any
Bye.
question, get back in we have our group, the WhatsApp group. Contact me or whatnot. I'm ready to help, and that's just about it. All
Okay.
right, signing off,
So when do we
guys.
meet again?
Oh,
When is
you
the
have a
next class?
question?
When is the next class?
Sunday, 2 p.m.
Okay.
So we have a lot of time to do a lot of stuff. We have a lot of time to brainstorm, come up with new ideas, and all of that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.